Vanessa Cole had spent years battling in the courtroom, standing firm in the fight for justice. But today, justice wasn't the first thing on her mind. After wrapping up an exhausting, high-stakes case, she figured she deserved a little break, something to clear her head before heading home. A high-end luxury boutique downtown had just launched an exclusive collection, and Vanessa, with her undeniable love for designer handbags, thought she'd drop in for a quick look. Just a few minutes, nothing more. After all, what harm could come from indulging in a little window shopping? By the way, where are you watching this from today? Let us know in the comments below. The moment she stepped inside, the delicate chime of the doorbell rang through the boutique. It was the kind of place that exuded elegance. Marble floors that gleamed under soft lighting, glass display cases filled with exclusive items, and employees dressed to perfection. Their voices hushed as they whispered to one another. Vanessa moved with quiet confidence, clad in a navy blue pantsuit that radiated both power and sophistication. Each step she took was accompanied by the rhythmic click of her heels against the pristine floor as she admired the curated selection of handbags displayed before her. But then she felt it, that shift in the air, the weight of lingering gazes, the almost imperceptible exchange of glances between employees. She had been in places like this before. She knew this feeling all too well. Before she even had the chance to reach for a bag, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Can I help you?" Vanessa turned slowly, meeting the cold, scrutinizing stare of a man who had materialized seemingly out of nowhere. A quick glance at his name tag told her everything she needed to know. Philip, store manager. She kept her voice smooth, her expression polite. "Just browsing? Thank you." But Philip wasn't satisfied with that answer. His eyes flickered over her, scanning her appearance, analyzing her from head to toe. And Vanessa knew exactly what he was thinking. She didn't fit the image of the kind of customer he wanted in his store. She wasn't flaunting designer brands. She wasn't draped in expensive jewelry. And most importantly, she was black. Philip folded his arms, his stance shifting slightly. "Browsing, huh? Browsing for what exactly?" His tone carried an unmistakable hint of suspicion. Vanessa held her ground, her polite smile unwavering, though she could feel the tight pull of irritation creeping in. "For a handbag," she responded, gesturing toward the collection in front of her. "Why else would I be here?" But Philip only smirked. "Are you sure about that? We've had incidents in the past." There it was. No effort to hide it. No attempt at subtlety. Vanessa inhaled slowly, steadying herself. "Are you suggesting I don't belong here?" Philip gave a half-hearted shrug. "I'm just saying we've had issues with," he hesitated, eyes flickering over her once again. "People who aren't serious shoppers." Serious shoppers. Vanessa nearly laughed at the irony. She could buy out this entire store if she wanted to. Every last bag on the shelf. But before she could say a word, Philip took a step closer, his voice taking on a more authoritative edge. "Look, let's not make this difficult. I'd rather not have to call security." Vanessa's polite smile vanished. "Security? For what?" Philip's response was chilling in its simplicity. "Loitering. Loitering." Vanessa tilted her head, studying him closely. He wasn't bluffing. He had already decided she didn't belong here. To him, she wasn't a customer. She was a problem that needed to be dealt with. And then he made the mistake that sealed his fate. "Either leave now, or I'm calling the cops." Vanessa didn't even flinch. She had spent years dealing with men like Philip, racist attorneys in the courtroom, corrupt officers on the streets, small-minded men who mistook their prejudice for power. But she was no victim. She squared her shoulders, met his gaze, and said two words that sent a chill down his spine. "Go ahead." Philip blinked. "What?" Vanessa gestured toward his phone. "Go ahead and call them." For the first time, she saw doubt flicker in his eyes. He hadn't expected that. Still, his pride wouldn't let him back down. He pulled out his phone and dialed. "Yes, I need officers at my store immediately," he said, throwing her a smug glance. We have a disruptive individual refusing to leave. Vanessa didn't even react. Instead, she calmly pulled out her own phone and started typing. Philip let out a small, condescending chuckle. What? Texting your lawyer. She glanced up at him. Something like that. Minutes later, 2 uniformed police officers entered the boutique. Philip straightened, his confidence soaring. Thank you for coming, officers, he said quickly. This woman has been loitering and causing a disturbance. She refused to leave when asked. The officers turned to Vanessa and suddenly, recognition dawned on their faces. One of them stiffened, his jaw tightening. He knew exactly who she was. Miss Cole, he asked carefully. Philip's smug expression faltered. Wait, what? The second officer straightened immediately. Miss Cole, is everything okay? Philip's smirk disappeared entirely. You know her? Vanessa finally smiled. Oh, they know more than just that. She reached into her handbag, pulled out her identification, and held it up. Vanessa Cole, District Attorney. Philip took a step back, his face draining of color. The officers exchanged a quick glance before turning their attention back to him. The first officer's voice was sharp, no longer polite. Sir, you just falsely reported a crime. Philip's lips parted, but no words came out. I didn't know. Vanessa took a step forward. Didn't know what? She asked. That I was the district attorney? Or that your racism would have consequences? The officers turned back to her. Miss Cole, do you want to press charges? Philip's eyes widened in sheer panic. Wait, charges? I didn't. Vanessa tilted her head. Filing a false police report is a crime, isn't it? Philip stammered, grasping for an excuse but found nothing. Finally, Vanessa sighed. No, I won't press charges. Not today. Philip exhaled in relief. And then Vanessa smiled. But I will be making some phone calls. By the time she arrived home that evening, the boutique's corporate office was already in full crisis mode. Social media had exploded with the news. The company scrambled to issue a public apology. But the damage? It was done. Philip was fired immediately. Corporate didn't want the backlash. They didn't want the legal trouble that came with disrespecting a high-ranking official. They begged Vanessa to return, offering free merchandise, exclusive discounts, anything. But she wasn't interested. She didn't need their gifts. She had already made her point. And Philip? He learned a lesson he would never forget. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Together, we can spread valuable lessons on respect, humility, and the power of standing up for what's right. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.